guys, I'm going to do a hair tutorial today. This is a post that I had posted on Instagram the other day, and I had a couple people asking how I did it, and they wanted a video, so here you go. I'll go ahead and post a picture of the hairstyle here. And let's get started. So it's essentially two braids that go into a bun. So what you're going to need is you'll need a donut hair bun holder. It's a sock bun. If you have really short hair, you can cut like an ankle sock and make it into a really small bun. If your hair is too short to go around one of these, you can get these at CVS or Walmart or wherever. And they're usually pretty cheap. And then usually if you get them, they come with these bobby pins that are pretty bent open, and this will help if you need to anchor it down. You can go ahead and anchor that, and then you'll also need just some regular bobby pins to go ahead and secure the braids after you've done them. So I'll go ahead and take my hair down. So I haven't done anything with it. I just put it up, and this is kind of how it comes out. So I am going to wet it just a little bit because otherwise it's not going to look very good. And it helps if you wet when you do a sock bun because it kind of makes it easier to wrap it around the donut because otherwise it's pretty slippery and it kind of can be a little challenging. So go ahead and give it a brush. Then if you have one, you'll need a rat tail comb to go ahead and part your hair. You can do this either way. You can do it right down the middle, or you can do it off the side depending on how you like your hair parted. I have a widow's peak, so doing it down the middle doesn't generally do me any favors. So I do it just off to the side, just by a smidge. And you can also just do one braid or two. You can start the braid really far over and go all the way in. If anybody wants to see that, let me know. I can go ahead and do a video for that as well. So this part is just a simple French braid, but I like to kind of section this chunk of hair here that is essentially this whole side of my head. And that's what I make the braid from. And then I try to make it even on the other side as well, so that so the top is even of where the hair is separated. All right, so for this side, I'm just gonna go ahead and clip this side out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so I start with just a triangle shaped piece of hair here. And I'm going to start the braid. And I generally do 2 passes with this hair just to start the braid, and so that it starts to look like a braid right up here versus down when the French braid starts. I tend to see that it looks a little better like that. So now that I've done 1 or 2 passes with that hair, I'm going to go ahead and just start picking up from both sides and just start braiding, French braiding down the side here. And I'm just picking up small sections as I go, and try to keep the braid up high. Don't go too low with it because you are going to make it go into the bun, and you don't want to get any bumps if you braid it down and you try to force it to go back up afterwards. Like I said, I'm just picking up smaller pieces of hair. And now once I'm back here, I'm gonna stop picking up hair on this side. I'm gonna continue to pick up the hair on this side and turn it into a one-sided French braid. And just keep everything from back there out of it. And then I just take all the hair around my ears to keep out of my face. And then I'm just going to continue braiding it the rest of the way back. And then once I've gotten to the bottom, or as far as I'm going to go with it, I'll go ahead and just secure it with a bobby pin across it, just to keep it braided while I go ahead and do the other side. So just go ahead and put that there, and come over to this side. And I'm essentially just going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and wet it just a little bit more. And then I'm going to do kind of the same thing, kind of right where this braid stops up here. I'm just going to kind of come down right here just to separate that hair. So I kind of know what I'm working with, and I'll go ahead and clip that back so I don't end up taking it in with hair that I don't want it in with. And then I'm going to do the same thing, start with a triangle shape here, the best that I can, and then I'm going to completely braid back to where I sectioned it off. And again, I'm going to do 1 or 2 passes on this braid without French braiding it. That way the braid is established when I do start to French braid. And just again, picking up pieces as I go. So now for the next part, I'm going to, you'll need a hair tie. So I'm going to take a hair tie and I'm going to put the remainder of my hair up. And you can do this bun high up or lower down, depending on where you like the bun. Some days I do it all the way on top of my head, and some days I do it at the back of my head, depending on the look that I want to go with for that day. So I do brush through it to make sure that it's smooth. If it's easier for you, just flip your head upside down when you do this. That way you're not fighting gravity while you do it. So then I just make sure I have all the hair, and this is the rest of my hair. And I'm going to go ahead and make a ponytail. And you want the ponytail to be rather tight, so if you have a newer hair tie or one that's pretty stretchy, you'll want to use that one, because you want the base of your donut bun to be really tight, otherwise it's going to fall out. Alright, so now I just hold it above my head and go ahead and stick the donut through my hair, so now it's on there. And then I just kind of adjust it down and pull back up just to kind of get it right where I want it. Start low, and then I bring it up. And then the goal is going to be to wrap all this hair around the bun and tuck it underneath in a, and just roll the donut down your hair. I kind of end up twisting my hair around in a circle to get all the hair underneath to stay. And like I said, if your hair's wet, this is a little easier to do than if your hair is dry. Oftentimes I will do just a sock bun with wet hair after a shower because it comes out really smooth, and especially when it dries in the shape of the sock bun. So it does really stay nicely. So you're going to want to keep pulling up on the sock bun as you roll it underneath to make sure that it's they're wrapping the hair around tightly. And then when you get to the bottom, you'll just roll it right onto your ponytail, and then all the hair is in there. And then you're going to take these and you're going to go ahead and you can either wrap them on top or underneath, depending on where your braids are, where your bun is. And then just take a bobby pin and secure it into the bun. And same thing with this side. And I'm just going to go ahead and capture the end of the braid with the bobby pin. And now you have a completely braided sock bun that looks like that. And if your braids look too tight and you don't like them that tight, you can always just pull on the French braid part. You can make them a little more messy or a little more pulled out, like on this side. I usually just pull it out because when I tend to French braid my hair, I tend to do it really tight and it ends up sticking right to my head. So just kind of mess with it and make it look the way you want, and then you're done.